Because we love music so much, it was hard for us to relate to anyone who didn't.
Jonathan, Jake, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Do you still remember the very first time you met at Christian camp? What was it, the meeting like?
Pretty vivid memory.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Our parents shipped us there. It's just a weekend camp thing, and I'd never been to camp before. I don't think Jake had either. We both hated it, and I think we were both sort of, I mean, in our hometowns, you know, he lived in Ohio and I lived in a small town in New York, upstate New York, and we both sort of, I don't know if we're outcasts, but we definitely had a hard time making friends. You know, I think music sort of dominated our lives, and it's pretty much the only thing we cared about since we cared about anything. So, you know, and it just so happened the music that we liked was a little off-center from the music that the rest of the kids were listening to. You know?
The kids at that camp, you mean?
Kids at the camp, kids in our hometowns. You know, Nirvana was all the rage, and we were listening to Kraftwerk. So it was like, you know, it was sort of this
A bit different.
Yeah, so it's just like, because we loved music so much, it was hard for us to relate to anyone who didn't understand it, you know.
Yeah.
It was an obsession. So, you know, we were both shipped off to that camp. We had never met before, and Jake was actually playing Kraftwerk, and we were all staying in this gymnasium, and I just walked over to him and said, you know, like, who's playing this? And he said, I am. Back when we had CD players. And he thought I was going to make fun of him because everyone else did. And I said, this is like my favorite band.
Yeah.
So instantly we bonded over music, exchanged mailing addresses, and sort of kept in touch like that. And then over the course of 10 years, you know, every summer, or most summers, we try to get together for a few days and just hang out and try to write music together and stuff.
What were the other kids at the camp like? Were those really religious kids, or?
Yeah, it was super religious camp, you know.
But yeah, they were all just dumb.
Yeah.
Because why were you different? Because I mean, you were brought up in a religious household, and then were you too?
Mm-hmm.
So
But
why?
it was just, they just were really into listening to what was considered punk music at the time, and hardcore music and stuff, and it was just all pretty awful.
So it wasn't like they were really like into Christian music or anything.
Well, like Christian punk or something, you know.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, but it's a thing.
It has nothing to do with what we do.
But I don't know. When you're just that obsessed with music and the sort of music that you're into, and no one else likes it, it's hard to relate to anyone.
Mm. And then the first thing you did together after that was Goat Explosion, right?
Yeah.
How?
Yes.
When? At what age was that?
I think I was like 15 at the time.
I was a couple years older. Yeah, we just wrote, you know, some weird songs on. Jake and I used to collect synthesizers, old analog keyboards and stuff. So from like the 70s, and so we wrote like 4 or 5 songs on synthesizer, and we just like hopped in a minivan and like toured the country, you know, playing coffee shops as Goat Explosion, and it was really...
It didn't make any sense.
Didn't make any sense. It was a little... It was more, I think, to me, I think it was more an excuse to hang out than it was to really, you know.
People did listen to you, did book you, or just
Here and there,
did you
yeah.
just show up and start playing?
A little of both.
It was weird. We had this like a little buzz thing happening from it, but I don't think we took it seriously enough to care, really. You know, the drums is sort of the first time that, you know, we literally like felt in our gut like, this is what we're gonna do this and be really serious about it. Let's actually write something that we want to write, and something, you know, that let's just really please ourselves and be selfish about this. And you know, we've always had a fascination with pop songs and pop culture all through the, you know, from the even from like the 1920s up until, you know, up until now, really. I don't think it's as exciting as it used to be. But you know, writing a pop song, a really sort of simple, stripped down, perfect pop song is kind of our goal from the very beginning.